I want to thank District Attorney Kim Ogg and her team for their valuable assistance in our investigation, and we will continue collaborating to ensure that anyone who has betrayed their oath to serve because of greed. No one, especially our own teammates, will be given leniency when it comes to actions that endanger the lives of those in our jail. There has been a statewide and national surge in overdoses among incarcerated people, and we have not been immune from that trend. But we are committed to reversing it immediately. These arrests should serve as a strong warning to those who conspire to sell drugs in our jail. We will catch you and you will face tough consequences. It stops now, or you should prepare to meet your customers in person soon wearing a matching orange jumpsuit. Now, briefly, I'd like to share my remarks in Spanish, and then I'll be turning it over to our partner, Assistant District Attorney Kimberly Smith. Buenas tardes y gracias por acompañarnos. Hoy les queremos informar los últimos detalles sobre nuestro esfuerzo para eliminar contrabando peligroso en la cárcel del Condado Harris. Yo soy el alguacil del Condado Harris, Ed Gonzalez, y estará acompañado por personas de la Fiscalía y también de nuestra agencia. La semana pasada les informamos sobre la detención de un abogado acusado de entregar narcóticos peligrosos en nuestra cárcel. Les dije entonces que el abogado era solo el primero en lo que esperamos que iban a ser otras personas que serían tal vez encontrados responsables por situaciones similares. En octubre, nuestro equipo comenzó una investigación y descubrió pruebas de que uno de nuestros propios oficiales de detención estaba tal vez vendiendo drogas para la gente en la cárcel. Trabajaron en conjunto con la oficina de la fiscal para construir un caso que culminó ayer con la acusación del gran jurado contra el oficial Robert Robertson. Nuestros oficiales arrestaron a Robertson esta mañana cuando él se presentó a su trabajo aquí en nuestra cárcel. Desde entonces ha sido encarcelado por un delito grave de participar en actividades delictivas organizadas para introducir narcóticos en un centro de penitencia. Quisiera dar las gracias a la fiscal Kim Ogg y a su equipo por su valiosa ayuda en nuestra investigación, y seguiremos colaborando con la Fiscalía para asegurarnos de que nadie traiga su juramento que nadie traicione su juramento de servir con profesionalismo. Nadie, especialmente nuestro propio equipo, tendrá la tolerancia cuando se trata de acciones que ponen en peligro a personas que están dentro de nuestra cárcel. La sobredosis es un problema muy urgente, no solamente aquí en nuestro propio condado, pero a nivel nacional también, y vamos a hacer todo lo necesario para ponerle alto a eso. Entonces, a cualquier persona que esté involucrado en este tipo de actividad, le dimos que pongan alto, si no se van a encontrar presos en nuestra propia cárcel, la cárcel donde ellos trabajaron, usando los mismos trajes de color naranjo, igual que los otros prisioneros que se encuentran en custodia. At this point, I'd like to invite Assistant District Attorney Kimberly Smith, again, one of our partners, so that she can explain her team's important work on this case. ADA?
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. So this detention officer, Robert Robertson, has been charged with a second-degree felony of engaging in organized criminal activity with an underlying felony of delivery of a prohibited substance into a correctional facility. He essentially has used his position as a detention officer to escape scrutiny and smuggle drugs into the Harris County jails. The other two individuals named in the indictment are both convicted felons, both have a history of drug abuse, and both could potentially be facing additional charges pending the outcome of this investigation. I do want to say that this indictment would not be possible without the cooperation of the Harris County Sheriff's Office and the team of investigators working on this case. I personally want to say thank you to the lead investigator on this case, Deputy Sean Brown, and his team, who have worked tirelessly since May of this year. This is an ongoing investigation with a lot of moving parts. This is truly the unraveling of a deadly drug smuggling ring. Inmates are dying within the Harris County Jail, most due to drug overdoses. So essentially, This defendant, Robert Robertson, is facing anywhere from 2 and up to 20 years in TDC. That is the punishment range for this offense. He is also eligible for probation. And I can answer any questions that y'all have at this time from the Harris County District Attorney's Office.
Could you give us more details about the 2 other people who may be involved in this indictment?
So there are 2 other individuals listed in the indictment. As I stated earlier, both are felons. Their names are listed in the indictment, so that will be reflected there. But at this time, I'm not going to go into their specific criminal acts and what they have done to engage in this type of criminal activity, because again, this is an ongoing investigation, so there may be additional charges for them at a later date, but at this time, anything that is reflected in the indictment, you can refer to that.
So in the indictment, those who are named, they're not charged with a crime for this at this moment?
They are not charged at this moment, but that is not to say that they may not be charged in the future.
Where is Mr. Robinson right now?
He is in custody right now, and he will appear in court tomorrow, and that is where probable cause will be read and a bond will be set.
Has he been linked to any of the deaths in the jail?
Not at this moment. We are still working to trace back any involvement that he may have regarding any of the deaths in the jail, but at this time, there is no direct link to him and any death that has been in custody at this time.
Is he connected to the paper, the drug-laced paper that's been brought in?
So he has been charged with bringing in several items, one of which is paper. But as far as the actual papers and the deaths associated with the inmates dying from the drug-laced papers, we haven't been able to make that connection at this time.
What else did he bring in? You mentioned paper was one of the things.
Paper, also tobacco and marijuana.
How long has he been doing that? I mean, how long was the investigation?
How long has this investigation been going on?
Yes.
For several months now, for several months.
So what's your message to anybody else who may be involved in the same type of legal activity that Mr. Robinson's being accused of?
Well, again, this is an ongoing investigation. We are far from complete, far from being done. So just stay tuned, and additional charges are likely to come.
He's going to be more at risk.
Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
Just to add to her point and to your question is we're going to be relentless on this. I think one of the things I want to make sure we're pointing out is just the great working relationship that we have. We both have a common mission to make sure that we're rooting out any of this illicit activity. It doesn't matter if it's someone that's an attorney or even our own. We're going to hold them accountable and try to hold them, pursue to the fullest extent of the law. And we've had a great working relationship. And again, I want to thank the ADA here as well as District Attorney Kim Ogden. We're going to be doing more things to see how we could stop this because we need to say that it's just not going to be tolerated, and we're going to be relentless. There's still additional moving parts to this investigation, but we also have other ongoing investigations going on. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's more news coming out very soon, because we're not going to let take our eyes off the prize. We're going to stay focused on this because, again, it's happening far too soon, not only here but nationally as well, and it's unacceptable. And that's why laws exist, such as the one that was filed today, to make sure that this type of activity doesn't happen, not only here but in any correctional facility.
Sheriff, you got a lot on your plate with this facility. That's no secret. But do you think that this particular investigation will help to crack down on the common problem with the in-custody deaths?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, each successful action that we can take, I think, sends a loud message that we're paying close attention and that it's not going to be tolerated, and that there are consequences today. And we may not catch it today, but it may just be a matter of time. And then, again, I think we also, on the flip side, I think we'd be remiss also not to say that we have thousands of wonderful public servants that come and serve every day and are professional, complete their duties. We process close to 100,000 defendants every year through this system. It's one of the second largest in the country. And they do their job, and they do it well, and they need to make sure we have their back and that we support them. But those that don't, that steer off course, and we're going to hold them accountable. And look, Commissioner's Court has invested millions of dollars to make sure that we could give significant pay raises and other incentives to make sure that we're really growing a professional and positive track for detention officers within our system, but they also need to play by the rules.
Sheriff,
Sure.
how long was he a detention officer with you, and How long has he been suspected of doing this?
He's been with us now, serving for approximately 6 years. I believe the investigation really started to gain strength around October, if I'm correct.
This
But
year?
yeah, this year. We don't know unless we develop more information. That's what's ongoing. If we could develop more information, it's been happening longer, and we could tie other examples or cases or witnesses, then we want that information. That'll be part of the investigation.
Can you tell us anything about what sort of started the investigation? What tipped you guys off to that he was involved in this?
Yeah, our team just developed some leads. I don't know specifically what led them to this particular detention officer, but again, that's why we work in concert with our partners at the DA's office to make sure we're taking the proper legal strategies and making sure that we're on the proper investigative path to obtain sufficient information to develop our probable cause.
Sheriff, how lucrative was it for him? I mean, how much would inmates pay, and how would that work?
Can you speak to?
Yes, absolutely. It's quite a lucrative organization, but sheets are going anywhere from $1,500 a piece. Packs of cigarettes are $300 a pack. I call it a menu. It's a menu of drugs, of contraband, of just tobacco products, things that you could get off the street. But the price just continues to go up as it gets harder to get these drugs or any form of contraband smuggled into the jail.
For y'all personally, how does it feel to see these public servants involved in these type of crimes?
Well, it's gut-wrenching. These are people that we put a lot of trust in. These are people who are supposed to protect us, make sure that the inmates are safe. So it's very hard to see that this is actually happening in our world today, but we're going to try and get rid of the bad ones so that the good ones can shine.
Yeah, and just to add to that, I think that in addition to that, I think that we could still have trust in our institutions, that we will hold people accountable, including our own, regardless of the circumstances, because it's the right thing to do. And so I'm glad that if there's somebody out there doing illegal activities that wears any uniform, whether it be us or any other agency, then we're going to hold them accountable. Okay.
Thank you.
¿Me puedes decir en español?
Oh, ¿está bien? Sí, ¿alguna
¿Me
pregunta?
puede platicar cómo empezó este oficial dentro de la cárcel?
Sí,
¿Cuánto
él ha
tiempo
estado trabajando con nosotros por ya más de 6 años. Recibí una de las unidades investigativas que tenemos, recibió información de que esta persona tal vez estaba vendiendo narcóticos, especialmente como marihuana, también cigarrillos y otras cosas. Estas cosas, productos en el mercado dentro de una cárcel son muy costosas, entonces es muy lucrativo ese tipo de negocio ilegal y está contra la ley. Entonces, por eso comenzó la investigación. Obviamente tenemos que tomar diferentes pasos para poder probar ese caso, para llegar a este momento donde se le pudieron poner cargos a esta persona de 24 años de edad, el señor Robertson.
¿Qué es lo que se espera en adelante con los trabajadores, con los demás empleados, no?
Sí, pues mira, gracias a Dios que la gran mayoría de nuestros empleados, tenemos más de 2,000 empleados que trabajan dentro de nuestro sistema de cárcel. Hacen un buen trabajo, reportan su trabajo, hacen un labor muy difícil, pero lo hacen profesional y les agradecemos a ellos, pero sea quien sea, o un abogado o uno de nuestros propios miembros de nuestro equipo, si están haciendo ilegal o son acusados de algo grave de esa manera, pues van a ser, no vamos a parar en que tengan consecuencias también ellos.
¿Fue el abogado, fue el oficial? ¿Va a haber algún otro arresto más?
Pensamos que van a haber más arrestos, no tiene que ver que esos casos están conectados, pero estamos investigando una variedad de casos ya que ya estamos más enfocados en esto y esperamos que van a haber más personas que van a recibir cargos. Hasta en este mismo caso es probable que hay otras personas que pueden ser encontrados, estar involucrados en este tipo de negocio ilegal dentro de la cárcel.
¿Algo más que quiera agregar, Che?
Esperamos que la gente tenga fe en lo que estamos haciendo, que apoye esto, y si tienen personas que están dentro de cárcel, por favor, que no apoyen esfuerzos para traer contrabando a nuestra cárcel. Está contra la ley y también familiares se pueden encontrar culpables si encuentran que están cooperando en este tipo de actividad ilegal.
Por último, ¿tenemos la foto del abogado o nomás la del oficial?
Y teníamos la del abogado anteriormente, no lo tenemos aquí, pero se la podemos entregar.
Gracias.
Are these two, last week and this week, they're connected?
We're still, you wanna speak?
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you, Sheriff. So at this time, we can't really comment on whether or not there is a connection between any of these attorneys bringing contraband into the jail and these detention officers bringing contraband in as well. So just due to the nature of the fact that it's still an ongoing investigation, we just can't comment on that at this time.
Thank you all, appreciate it.
Are you eating at your desk? So you're done? Okay, then I'm gonna let that slide. I won't have to report you.